Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So nice to see you. And Linda, hello, love. This is my favorite part of the week, spending this time watching you cook. How are you?
I'm great. I actually love it too because you know what I was realizing? It's the only time of the week I actually put jeans on and put makeup on and make sure my hair is somewhat okay. So it's the one day I look forward to.
Me too. I brushed my hair. I put on a nice top, which you can't really see properly. But, I came to
With your pajamas on the bottom.
uh, jeans. Well, we won't go there. And I came to the Soul Cave. You see, look, I'm in the Soul. I'm sitting in the retail area of the Soul Cave, trying to get the lighting right. So I thought, we're going to slowly start easing out of quarantine. I want to be back in the Soul Cave.
Well, I have to tell you, it's so nice to see you there. You're in your home away from home, and you're glowing. And I can't wait till I can go down there. And I think we all need a bit of detoxification sitting in that soul cave.
Everybody, come down as soon as we're allowed to. And then we are socially distanced while we do it.
It's wonderful.
So tell me, love, what are you making today? What can I look forward to making this week?
So I made this for my kids and they all ate it. And it's supposed to be pork lettuce cups, but there is no pork anywhere. There is no ground pork. I went to multiple stores, which I don't typically do, but I wanted this one ingredient, ground organic pork, and I couldn't get it anywhere. So I'm switching it up a little bit. So I am doing a little bit of it on the fly, and it's going to be chicken, just because I have to cook the chicken a little bit differently to the pork, because chicken contains a lot more water, and you don't want this because it's going to be sitting in that lettuce cup, and you don't want it to be soggy. So I also love this recipe because growing up, we used to go to Chinese restaurants, and as a family and cousins and everyone, and one of the meals that we used to get was san chow bao. And that's actually what it was called. I'm presuming that's what it's called here as well in the Chinese restaurants. This is in Australia. And we used to have that. It was one of our favorite dishes. And then my mum used to replicate it and make it at home. And my father's name is Sam. So as kids, we used to do a little recipe cards for the recipe cards. We used to do menus, and we'll call it Sam's Chow Bao. So
I love that.
It has a little place in the heart for me.
I love it so much.
So it brings back lots of nice memories.
So brilliant.
So I'm going to get started.
Okay.
Typically, I would only need one pan to cook this if I was doing it with the pork. But because it's chicken, I do need two. So we're going to put both of our pans on, and it's just on a medium heat. And I brought us over to my regular cooking space today, which is much better for me. And then we're going to put about a tablespoon of avocado oil into both. And it's really about I don't measure it, but it's just like swirling around, gives you about a tablespoon. Now this is gas, so it actually heats up pretty quickly. In one pan that's over here, I'm actually going to be putting in 8 ounces or one of those small packs of crimini mushrooms that I've minced up. And also I've chopped up a medium-sized onion. So we're going to be putting this all in together, and you're going to start to just stir that around. You're going to lower that a little bit. And we're just going to stir this around. This will take about 10 minutes to cook down, 8 to 10 minutes. So we're going to leave this for a minute while we actually start to cook the chicken. And it's this simple. We're not seasoning this either yet. None of this gets seasoned yet, because if you season it, the mushrooms will release all of its water. So we're just going to leave that as it is. And then I have some organic ground chicken. So it's very important that you use organic meats, or if it's beef, grass-fed beef, so that you know that you're getting the pure meats in there, and it has all the qualities in there that you need. Okay, so we're going to throw this in, and then using a spoon. I have all these beautiful wooden spoons that I actually get. They're made out of olive wood, but whatever you have, and just use the back of the spoon to brown this meat. And the chicken should only take about 5-6 minutes to brown and to cook through. And once it's almost cooked through, we're going to add it in with the mushrooms and the onions.
So what I love about the fact that you're using chicken is that you show us that you don't have to be so rigid with your recipes, you know. So you couldn't find the organic pork, ground pork, so you got chicken. And
Yes.
that's what's great, is that you can really, you know, you can wing it, which is what you teach us how to do. And I love that.
And that's it. So even some of the ingredients in here, like my part of when I originally made this with the pork, so I mentioned before, my son is very fussy with his eating. When I cook this with the pork and just with the mushrooms, it all blends together. James has no idea that there's mushrooms in there. So even though it's almost 15, I have to hide vegetables into his food. Otherwise, he's very sensory. So whatever he's seeing, tasting, or not even taste, it's just the look of it. Even though I was like that as a kid, if anything green, if there was parsley and anything, I was like picking it all out. So that's why,
right, Mom, because you know those little secrets.
yes. So we're like having to add that in, and I do like another version of this in meatballs, Asian style meatballs that both of my kids love. Actually, we all do. It's one of our my go-to things to give to the family. And there are lots and lots of mushrooms in there, but he has no clue. If he uses mushrooms, I think he would kill me.
Let's hope he doesn't watch this video, love.
Watch it, yeah. Oh, you know what? I always tell him after he's eaten the food, and then if he does find out what's in there, I tell him, you've loved it. Like, you're eating it. Just because you now know what's in there, you need to keep eating it. So
it's so psychological. That's so funny.
It is. It is. We've had the same thing with him with a lot of people getting those Trader Joe's cauliflower gnocchi.
Yeah. Well, those are delicious.
They're so good, and it's so simple. Something easy to keep into in your freezer. And he had no clue. He thought it was the potato gnocchi. We were very fortunate. We're in Italy this past summer, and he loved it there. So he saw me eating them. And he's like, "Oh, I want that for dinner." So I made it for him. He ate that whole bag. He ate the whole bag himself. Yeah. Finally, he found out a month or so later what it was, and I'm like, "Don't you dare!"
Wait, I have to just tell you, we made that the other day in our air fryer, and they were like crispy little. They tasted like little potato croquettes. They were so good.
Oh, I have to try that.
So good. They were amazing.
I have to tell you a funny story about the air fryer.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of kitchen gadgets. Like, I'm very old school. I have my big Dutch oven, which is the big ceramic pots. I gave in and got an Instant Pot, which I probably need to have some lessons on because I don't love it, because I like to taste my food as I'm cooking it. And there's only certain things I will cook in there. But I've been looking at air fryers. Everybody's like, you need to get an air fryer. I'm like, I really don't want one. I need to get one. Turns out air fryers are just convection ovens. My oven, I have a double oven, and it's a convection oven. So I'm like,
oh my God,
I'm so glad I didn't buy one. And I've had it for like 4 years, 5 years, and I never realized. Even though I cook it on the convection settings, it just like came to me. So that was like my dumb moment, and like I'm just glad I didn't buy another contraction for the kitchen. So
no, it's not a dumb moment. It's like, you know, if people ask you how old were you when you found out whatever, that's how I feel right now. I didn't know that a convection oven was the same as a air fryer.
Yeah, so that's all it is. And getting the smaller ones on your countertop that you can then put away, because that's my big pet peeve. I don't want anything on my countertop. Yeah. So this chicken is actually almost done. So you can see that's all it is. And I've broken it all down. Break down a little bit more. And I'm actually going to now add it to, and it's actually, this chicken actually has not released a lot of water. So I thought there'd be more. It was organic chicken, and it's a blend of all the different cuts. And it did say in there that there's no water added. A lot of the ground chickens, they do add water to it. So I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any, and there isn't. So I probably could have cooked it in with this, which means I would have cooked the mushrooms down first for that 10 minutes and then added this in and cooked it all together. But we've actually saved us some time, so they're both cooked at the same time. And I'm going to add this now in with the mushrooms.
Just make it look so easy, love.
Oh, you know what? But that's how it's supposed to be. cooking shouldn't be difficult. And this is simple and easy and delicious, especially now it's warming up. Like, I thought it was going to rain today and it's beautiful weather out. Nobody wants any heavy meals to be eating. So it's barbecue season, but you don't want to barbecue every single day. So this is such a light dish that you can cook and for your whole family, have it for well, my husband doesn't like this as a meal. He thinks this should be a little appetizer and then something else, but it's completely fine with me. So you can have this as a nice light lunch, or once we can have people over again, doing this for everybody. Like, it looks impressive as well, but simple and easy. So the mushrooms are cooked down. So the onions, they're nice and soft, and the chicken is all cooked as well. So I'm blending all this through. Now, all I'm going to be adding is some seasoning, because we put nothing in here right now. We have 3 minced cloves of garlic. You know I love garlic and ginger, so there's our garlic. I'm going to push this through. Now, you could add another clove into here if you wanted. I'm keeping this a little mild for everybody. I like a lot of garlic and a lot of ginger. Actually, I can smell that. Can you smell it through your smell-o-vision?
You know what? Yes. I'm getting hungry just watching this.
We can have an outdoor...
I know, it's social distance hangout.
Then I have ginger. I freshly grated some ginger, and there is about half a tablespoon in here. We're going to add that in. I'm just going to mix. It's smelling really good right now. So.
I can feel it, definitely.
So we're going to just cook this down a little bit, and so all the flavors are going to mix in. So what other dishes have you, I know your daughter cooks, so what has she been cooking for you besides the cakes that she was making every day?
Stop that. I was eating a cake a day. The air fryer, honestly, it's become our like cooking device of quarantine, because we make everything in it, like everything. We do chicken wings. We've done a whole chicken. She did like aubergine chips the other day, you know, the eggplant chips.
That's my favorite. And I do it with like, I love them. So I do that in the oven, and then I do like a tahini dressing with it. But that's another day, we'll do that one. But that's like so easy. And I usually do all those roasted vegetables in the oven and put them out when we're having a barbecue. That's delicious.
Oh, it's delicious.
The chicken's cooked through, the garlic and ginger are all through there now. So now we're going to add some more seasoning to it. So we want some flavor in there. So I have, here we're going to add in some toasted sesame oil.
Yum, I love that.
Flavor, we're going to put in a teaspoon of that in here. And I love sesame seeds. We're going to add sesame seeds in here as well, but the smell of this is so good. And I have 2 tablespoons of tamari. So tamari is, for those that don't know, it's a soy sauce, but it's gluten-free. Regular soy sauce has gluten in there. So this is the one that we prefer. Or if you don't like soy, even though this is a fermented soy, you can use like coconut aminos, which is a similar flavor to soy sauce. It's a little bit lighter. So we're going to mix this in. It smells really good.
I'm sure your family's going to be wandering downstairs like, wait, it's only 11:30? Is it lunchtime?
The kids haven't even come down yet. My daughter's still in bed. James, I think, is in the shower. They're going to come down. Yes, they skip breakfast altogether these days, and they're having some lunch.
Life of the teenager. Same with mine. No, but I'll go home. They'll be awake at about 1:30.
That's the thing. So this is almost done. Now, the only other thing that we're going to add in is, if you like spicy, which I do, sriracha. So we're going to add a little bit of sriracha in there to kick it up a little bit, and about a teaspoon, or do it to taste. So I'm actually adding a little bit more. I'm going to put this through, and also some chopped up spring onions. So we're going to add that in. They're going to cook in. It's going to be a nice little crunch in there. They will cook down with the heat, so they're not like fully cooked. and puts a little bit of nice color. So you could have added some cooked carrots in here as well, or some bell peppers will actually release a lot of water, but some carrots in through this. I'm actually going to top it with some carrots once we build it. A little bit of sesame seeds. So again, you're just going to, it's actually just to preference. There's probably like half a teaspoon here that I'm going to sprinkle in.
Yeah.
Mix that through. And at this point, you want to really lower that heat because it's pretty much done, but you want to taste test it. You want to see whether or not it has enough soy, enough tamari in there. You might want to kick it up with a little bit more heat or a little bit more of that toasted sesame oil. No, that's perfect. That's, for me, that's actually perfect. So that's it. That's cool.
God. What?
So that's it. So this is now done. Super, super simple. You've got your mushrooms in here. You've got your onions, garlic, ginger, all of that. So it's like perfect in here. And then what we're going to do is build it into some lettuce cups. See these here? This is romaine. This is red romaine lettuce. Whoops, part of it broke off. That's okay. You can use romaine, not romaine lettuce, sorry. This is red butter lettuce. You can use the white butter lettuce. You can also use a romaine, which is the longer ones. Typically, growing up, they would use iceberg lettuce. That's what we'll be having. But iceberg lettuce is really just water. There's not a lot of nutritional value to iceberg lettuce. So a butter lettuce, romaine, something like that is much better. Anything that's sturdy enough and looks is like a cup that can hold it in there. So,
Linda, is it true that the darker the greens, the better that, or the more nutrients they have in them? Is that true?
Yeah, so the phytonutrients that are found in plants, so you're looking at those dark green leafy vegetables that we're all told we should be eating, that's a reason for it. So your kale, your broccoli, things like that. But this has a lot of nutrients in here too. It's more in the lettuce variety. Iceberg is like the least, even though I think a lot of us grew up on iceberg lettuce.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But, and even me with my family, they were in the fruit and vegetable business. We ate iceberg lettuce.
Yeah.
That I don't buy any, I haven't bought that in years. So this is the sort of thing that you want to be having. And all you're going to do now is build these little cups. So this is still a little hot. So typically if I was making this, but for the purpose of time, I would let this cool a little bit, only because you don't want to soak up that lettuce, the steam of this. So you want to just put a little bit in here. And then we're going to top it with, I have some more cut up spring onions, and I have some julienne carrots, which I'll show you how I do those. It's just a little peeler. And so this is it. And I would sprinkle a little bit more sesame seeds on top. And that's it. And you're going to wrap those up and eat them. And they're delicious. It's nutritious. You have all your vitamins and minerals in there that you need. It's not heavy. So having this for lunch or a very light dinner, this is like the perfect meal. And it looks so pretty. When something looks pretty, you want to eat it. So I'm going to show you. So whenever you see like, how on earth are they cutting these up? Like there's no way you could have. It's like a peeler. It's actually made. Can you see?
Yeah.
It actually cuts up the carrots like that for you. So saves you time trying to cut them up so small. I think I have Bed Bath & Beyond or somewhere, but I'm sure you can just get it anywhere online now because we can't go to the stores. But that's it. So I'm just going to build up these. Put some more in, serve them up. They look so pretty, especially on a day like today. Go outside, make this, eat outside. It's like the perfect little snack meal, whatever you'd like it to be. It may not be filling enough for everybody, but that's perfect. So you coming over, Wendy?
I'm on my way, love. Quickly, end meeting. Here I come. No, that seriously was it's so simple, and there's so many things you can add or do to it or serve with it, but just like that, it's perfect.
It's simple, and there's not a so you could add other sauces, like a hoisin sauce is also typical in this sort of dish, but I wanted to keep it very light and clean. A lot of those sauces have a lot of salt in them, which we don't want. But this to me is perfect. It's a very light meal, and and everybody ate it when I cooked it at home. So that's a sure telling sign that it's good to go.
I love it. Honey, thank you so much. Once again, another like simple, but it looks impressive. If I served those, my kids would be like, what's the occasion, Mom? So fancy. Seriously, Linda, thank you so much, love. And I know people have been making all your stuff you've been showing us and loving it. I mean, getting so much nice feedback on everything you've made because it's easy and you don't put pressure on us to be this like fancy chef, you know, you just make it so easy.
Exactly. Nobody needs to be a chef. That's for the restaurants, and that's why we go to the restaurants to be fed by a chef. This is about home cooking and learning to feed yourself nutrition that is healthy for you, nutritionally dense food, and food is medicine. So I hope you all start cooking, and if you try this dish, please let me know. I know I get messages from some of your followers who are coming to the cave, who've been following you on the YouTube channels. So I'm so excited when they tell me they try and they love it.
Thank you so much, love. See you soon. I can't wait for next week. Bye, honey.
Bye.